Our protagonist attends school with a delinquent named Pak. Pak is a YouTuber with over 700,000 subscribers, and he live streams every day. He pretends to be a nice and friendly guy, but in reality, he's just another bully who loves to pick on weaker people. Despite this, viewers still watch his channel. Using his influence, he promotes another classmate named Humi. She may not have much brains, but she was blessed with a good dose of beauty. He tells the audience to visit Humi's channel because they also have a live model for them, as Humi practices makeup. The poor model is none other than Hobin, smeared with black and white paint and red lipstick. The whole group mocks him and his ridiculous makeup, while Pak laughs along with the crowd. He then approaches Hobin and tells him to smile for the camera in a threatening manner, but the humiliated Hobin can barely muster a smile before running to the bathroom. Once the camera is off him, he washes his face vigorously to remove the paint before returning to the classroom, where he is tripped by Snap, a blonde guy who is Pak's cameraman. Snap doesn't have Pak's bravado or Humi's looks, but he's strategic and uses his mind to capitalize on Pak's success. He starts kicking Hobin repeatedly while he's on the ground, accusing him of not smiling for the camera as instructed. When Hobin finally gets tired and gives him a death glare, it immediately scares Snap, and he stops. He maintains his composure and turns to make sure Pak has his back, and Pak tells him that Hobin can't even fight a mosquito. Meanwhile, Humi checks her account and says that just from this short stream, she managed to earn a significant amount, which surprises Hobin since they barely streamed for 30 minutes and did nothing but yell and insult him. Hearing this, Snap also sits down and starts thinking out loud about how he should start a YouTube channel to make money, as Pak doesn't share the revenue with him even though he's his cameraman. Snap reflects on the possibilities and the importance of having his own channel. Pak then explains to Snap that he can't start a YouTube channel yet because he's not 18 years old. Additionally, he would need to use someone over 18's bank account to receive payments. He says he can't use his parents' identity because he once stole money from them. Then he rudely turns to Hobin and asks if his mother is dead, which shocks Hobin as he didn't expect such cruelty. Snap continues, saying that if his mother isn't dead, he should give her bank account to open a channel. Pak and the others laugh while Hobin sits on the floor with clenched fists, but lacks the courage to confront his aggressors. Later, he goes to the hospital to visit his mother, who asks about his face. He lies, saying he fell down some stairs, and then goes to the reception to find out that the weekly fee is 200 ruthless. He pays it before returning to work at McDonald's, where he realizes that 200 is his weekly earnings. Meanwhile, horrible people with rich parents and everything in life earn hundreds of dollars easily in a week, while he struggles to make ends meet. Feeling miserable, a new and beautiful coworker named Bomb asks where the lettuce for the burger is. He directs her to the freezer, and Bomb thanks him, while other colleagues quickly offer to help her get the item, but she thanks them and moves on. This makes him a little happy, but his happiness is short-lived when Pak enters the restaurant with Snap during a live stream. He heads straight to the counter and tells the audience that he came to the restaurant to see the employee who is trending on social media for her beauty. He then looks at Bomb and says he has a challenge for her, showing her a burger and telling her to prepare it in less than 30 seconds, otherwise she'll have to give him her number. Bomb doesn't know how to respond when suddenly Hobin appears out of nowhere with the same burger from the picture, saying he made it in 30 seconds and asking Pak to leave because he's bothering other customers. Pak is surprised by this and says nothing because he was on the live stream, but leaves the restaurant. That night, Snap goes to Hobin's house and starts live streaming himself playing a game on his mother's account while forcing Hobin to cook ramen for him. He hears Snap say that one of the promised donations was 100 if he got 30 kills. Hobin listens to all this with burning hatred in his heart while spitting in the ramen to get back at him. When he brings the food back to Snap, he ends up tripping over the computer cable, and the screen disconnects just as Snap was about to reach 30 kills. The entire pot of ramen flies straight into Snap's face upon impact. Snap immediately gets up and starts kicking Hobin repeatedly, demanding that he pay the 100, while Hobin thinks about how miserable it must be to be beaten in his own home. However, while kicking, Snap ends up cursing his mother, saying She deserved to have cancer. This makes Hobin get up with anger in his eyes and deliver a strong punch to Snap. Snap is stunned, but starts punching back while Hobin grabs some flour and slaps it on his face. Hobin then takes the pot and hits Snap on the head before they start a full-blown fight with flour and pots, unaware that the camera light was still on, shining, and they were still being streamed online. Later that night, with bruises all over his body and the entire room destroyed, Hobin turns off the main circuit before going back to sleep, thinking about all the new expenses he'll have to cover. The next morning, he's woken up by a call from Snap, who yells at Hobin for uploading the video of their fight and tells him to delete the stream. The video should have ended when he tripped over the cable, but then he realizes that the cable was connected to the monitor and not the CPU, meaning the screen was off, but the stream was still live. Snap laments that the fight was uploaded to YouTube and has gone viral since then. He asks Hobin for the password since the account is his mother's and he can't even delete it. Hobin quickly ends the call and opens YouTube to see their fight on the front page, with all the comments mocking Snap completely. He loses all hope, believing that now not only his classmates, but the whole world will bully him. He was about to delete the video when he notices a comment saying he could make a lot of money from the views he received. He quickly checks his views, which have already surpassed 10 million in a single night, meaning he earned over 10,000 in just one night. When he returns to school, everyone has already watched the video and starts mocking Snap the moment he enters the classroom. Snap realizes he urgently needs to regain his position in the class, so he decides to bully a nerd by slapping him on the head. However, the nerd, who is chubby, quickly reacts and punches Snap in the face, then jumps on him and starts punching him repeatedly. Snap looks to Pack for help but realizes that Pack is just laughing, enjoying watching him get beaten up. Meanwhile, Hobin is leaving the hospital after paying some additional fees for his mother when he gets punched by Snap. Snap grabs his collar and starts demanding half the money, but Hobin breaks free and tells him to leave because he won't pay anything. They start fighting in the middle of the street, and by the end of the night, both sit on a park bench where Hobin tells Snap he won't pay him a cent. Snap reveals that he recorded the fight with a hidden camera and will upload it online, lying that everything was scripted just like the viral fight, and will expose Hobin in front of a video camera, destroying his online reputation. After that, Snap suggests to Hobin that they form a team and work together. He explains that he's been recording, editing, and posting Pack's videos for a while, and that's how he achieved so much success. He assures Hobin that he'll be his producer, taking care of all the details while Hobin's only responsibility will be to appear on camera. He believes Hobin is just a naive nerd and claims that since he's producing the videos, he'll take 90% of the profit, while Hobin will receive only 10%. It seemed like Hobin was about to agree, but at the last moment, he says no and shows the middle finger, saying he's not as dumb as he looks. He starts to walk away, and Snap becomes desperate, offering him 60% of the share and then 80%, until he finally drops to his knees and offers 90%, while he keeps only 10%. Hobin finally turns around and asks what his plan is. Snap reveals that they'll do live confrontations with bullies, where Hobin will call out the bullies and face them in front of everyone. Pack appears in front of the camera, promising that they'll get very rich and that Hobin will never have to work or worry about bills again. The next morning when he returns to school, he's surprised to see that Pack included them in the stream because the viewers wanted to see the guys from the viral video. Pack pretends to be friends with them and uses them to gain more viewers and subscribers before asking them to act naturally and greet the stream. Snap tells Hobin that he should do something since this punk is taking advantage of the viral video. However, Hobin responds that it's not the right time yet and that they should wait a little longer. Meanwhile, Pack was about to end his stream and informs the viewers that the giveaway winners will be announced soon. He mentions that the first prize is a complete PC setup valued at $2,000. Just then, Hobin shouts in the background, accusing Pack of being a liar, claiming that he's deceiving the viewers because it's all a scam. He starts shouting about how Pack pretends to be a nice guy in front of the cameras, but in reality, he's just a bully who likes to torment smaller and weaker people. Hobin doesn't stop there. He takes off his shirt to show a bunch of bruises as proof that Pak bullied him almost every day at school, hurting him for no reason. He even claims that he'll upload everything to his channel so everyone can see for themselves. People gather around the classroom thinking Hobin has finally lost it and will probably die today. Meanwhile, Pak simply stares at him with a look full of anger. Snap is pleased with what's happening because he believes this will make Pak's viewers migrate to his own channel. Suddenly, Pak starts smiling and reveals that his phone's battery died, indicating that the stream had ended some time ago. This means all the effort was in vain. Pak pulls his hands back and delivers an incredibly strong slap to Hobin's face and starts beating him non-stop while everyone watches from a distance. Fortunately, Snap is smarter and anticipated this, so he had already started streaming on his channel and began recording Hobin getting beaten by Pak. They start receiving over 33,000 viewers and many subscribers, although the comments seem to be all against Pak and his bullying. Hobin continues to be beaten, but to Snap's surprise, instead of backing down, Hobin prepares to fight. This enrages Pak, who shows off his big muscles and gang tattoos to intimidate Hobin, who trembles like a leaf in the wind while thinking about the moves he saw in movies and hoping they work. Pak starts mocking Hobin's mother and her illness, which angers him, and he runs to tackle Pak to the ground. But to no one's surprise, Pak remains standing because there's a huge weight difference between them. Pak simply laughs and grabs Hobin before throwing him to the ground, leaving him breathless. Hobin thinks about how fighting someone his size was much easier than fighting someone bigger and stronger. Just when he thought his beating was over, Pak looks at him and says he's not done yet. He raises his fists to hit him more when a red-haired guy tells them to be quiet because he's trying to sleep. Pak immediately turns around angrily and tells the guy to shut up before he gets beaten too. But the guy simply lifts his head, revealing that the redhead is Kim, a rising MMA star. This scares Pak, who starts acting like a coward, apologizing for yelling and leaving the classroom while Hobin lies on the floor. That night, Pak recharges his phone, relieved that his phone battery died at the right time. But as soon as the phone turns on, he receives several questions about whether the giveaway was fake while seeing that the entire fight is on YouTube. Hobin takes a shower and looks at himself in the mirror, satisfied for having beaten Pak since now they're trending on all social media. And overall, people sympathize with Hobin, commenting on his determination and surprising skill. Pak tries to make an apology video, saying it was all a mistake, but he edits it wrong and includes the part where he smiles and says his viewers are fools for believing him. This practically ends his career as he tries to recover with donation videos for farmers, more giveaways, and various attempts to win back his followers, but nothing works, and his followers keep dropping every second. Soon, he has less than 200 subscribers, while he used to have 700,000, and he becomes completely irrelevant. Meanwhile, Hobin's channel explodes, and he quickly gains 100,000 subscribers with just 2 videos. One day, Snap tells him he needs to last more than 3 minutes in a fight so they can place ads on the video and make more money. The problem is that Hobin doesn't know how to fight, so that night he returns home and starts researching various martial arts. During his research, he finds a channel with 0 subscribers but many videos. He doesn't understand why someone would create videos without having viewers but decides to watch one of them. In this video, a peculiar man named Sam, wearing a chicken mask, teaches some basic fighting principles. The next day, he quits his part-time job to focus even more on his channel. Upon hearing this news, Bomb approaches him and asks for his phone number because she wants to keep in touch. Hobin is over the moon because he can't believe someone as beautiful as her would actually want to talk to him. The next morning, he returns to school, but all his attention is focused on his phone as he texts Bomb with a creepy smile on his face. Snap slowly approaches the table and asks what's going on with him, if he's managed to learn to fight better. Hobin responds that he's trying to learn, but it's not that simple. Suddenly, Humi joins them and asks if they'd like to stream together. Hobin and Snap are completely surprised to hear this and start salivating at the opportunity. However, Hobin asks why she wants to stream with them since she's supposedly friends with Pak. She immediately switches sides and tells them she hates Pak and that her viewers want to see Hobin on the channel. While they were happy with the newfound respect, Pack enters the room boiling with rage because it was Hobin who destroyed his channel and his life. Suddenly, the advice given by the Chicken Man appears in front of Hobin, and he remembers that it's easier to deal with an angry opponent. He takes off his shirt, ready to fight, while Hobin is too scared to move. Pack punches him in anger but misses, which infuriates him even more. He pulls his fist back for another attack, but Hobin decides to face him head-on. Fortunately, Snap immediately starts recording the whole fiasco and mocks Hobin, saying his camera is faster than Pack's punches. Pack stops at the last moment but threatens to get revenge one day. The next day, Hobin waits near a park so Snap can discuss the channel's future. During this time, a couple passes by and mentions that they're big fans, which makes Hobin feel really good. But suddenly, they steal everything Hobin had with him. Snap appears at the last moment to help, but is knocked down with a single punch while the man takes Hobin's phone. Hobin realizes he can't let him go because the phone contains Bomb's contact information, and Snap encourages him to keep chasing the thief to face the bully with the viewers waiting for another video. Hobin removes his cap and hood, announcing that he's going to face and defeat the hooligan thief. He follows the thief to a karaoke bar where he's relaxing with his girlfriend, and gathering courage, he asks the man to return his phone because there's something important on it. The hooligan tells him to leave or get beaten, but Snap is recording everything, and even Hobin knows this is too good an opportunity to pass up. Hobin remembers Chicken Man and how he said they should figure out the opponent's dominant arm. Hobin realizes the hooligan must be right-handed because he's holding the microphone with that hand. If the opponent is right-handed, go to his left side, making it harder for him to land a punch. The hooligan stands up and faces Hobin, who seems ready to confront him. He tells Hobin that he might not even be able to walk again when he's done hitting him, so it would be better to run away. But Hobin calmly remembers the wise words of the Chicken Man, who told him to position himself so there's an obstacle on the left side, forcing him to use only his right hand, which would be easier to intercept. The hooligan stands up to attack, but Hobin remembers that normal people move their shoulders a lot when throwing a punch, which gives him enough time to react. Hobin, one of the greatest fighters in the world, is the first to be hit, sticking his head into the punch and blocking it with his face. This surprises everyone because, even though he was hit hard, Hobin barely seems affected. This is because the punch is stronger when fully extended, but by moving his head inward, it prevents it from generating much force, so he can be hit without really feeling pain. Snap can't believe it, thinking Hobin isn't even defending himself, just taking hits, while the chat wonders if Hobin's brain exploded. However, Hobin has a strategy. He remembers Chicken Man saying to keep his chin down and headbutt the fist. The hooligan, frustrated with his incompetence, throws another wide punch. Hobin reacts late for the headbutt but surprisingly dodges, and the punch doesn't hit him. This reminds me of Chicken Man saying, "It's not possible for a normal person to react perfectly to every punch, but it's also not possible for a normal person to land every punch if the target is moving too fast." This technique is called weaving and is often used in boxing to dodge random punches, making it difficult for the opponent to land a precise hit. The hooligan becomes even more furious, releasing his emotions and throwing punches wildly the whole time, while Hobin simply dodges most of the punches, making the hooligan look like a total failure. Not even the chat knows what's happening or if this was all planned. The hooligan finally manages to land a punch, but Hobin blocks it with his face, shocking the hooligan while asking for his phone back once again. He shouts to the thug that he needs to send a message to Bomb, but the thug doesn't understand what he's talking about, and the fight resumes. Hobin starts blocking punches with his forehead again, while Snap has no idea how he's getting hit so many times. Even the thug is confused because he can't understand why Hobin isn't even trying to dodge. Hobin, on the other hand, feels extremely foolish for not having watched the rest of the videos because the only video he saw talked only about defense and how to block punches. This means he has no idea what to do next and is now completely lost. He stands there crying because he doesn't know what to do while Snap realizes this is bad for the audience. The PC fight was quick and conclusive with explosive action, while this fight is dragging on for too long without anything happening except the thug throwing punches and Hobin getting hit in the face. He realizes they might lose viewers because of this constant repetition of the same moves and wonders if he should intervene and stop the fight before they lose too many viewers. He was about to end the stream when a familiar name appeared in the chat. Kim. This is the red-haired guy who studies in Hobin's class and is on his way to becoming a young MMA sensation. He states in the chat that everyone is stupid for thinking Hobin is losing the fight because he bets Hobin will be the last man standing. The chat doesn't believe he's right, but unlike those keyboard warriors, Kim knows what he's talking about and tells the chat they need to pay more attention to the thug's fists. According to him, the thug hasn't realized the amount of damage he's causing to his own knuckles all this time because of the adrenaline rushing through him. But the moment the adrenaline wears off, he'll start feeling an insane level of pain. Right on cue, the hooligan realizes his fists are swollen, and a sharp pain shoots through his entire body, causing him to roll on the ground while Hobin watches in disbelief. After the fight, they leave, and Snap realizes that Hobin's hospital expenses might consume all the money they earned from the stream. However, he sees this as an investment because they also gained many new followers. Fortunately, Hobin recovers his phone and starts texting Bomb while Snap ends the stream. Just that week, they reached 1 million views on the channel, and even with only 4 videos, they managed to get over 25 million views in total. A few days later, they finally received their first payment, about 10,000, and they were very happy. Hobin thought they needed to stream more, but Snap said it was just luck because they hadn't been monetized. Hobin, the illiterate animal, didn't even know what demonetization was, so Snap explained that the green mark means the YouTube gods are happy, and you'll get paid, but if the yellow mark appears on a video, which usually happens when the content you post has a lot of violence, it means your video ended up being demonetized, and you won't make money from it. While they were talking, they suddenly noticed the behavior of their classmate, who is streaming and being fake and cute about her own life. Suddenly, she notices Snap and Hobin and immediately tries to include them in her stream to steal their viewers. The boys start running away from this gold-digging idea and finally manage to escape when the sun is setting. As they walk past a store, Hobin notices a beautiful tracksuit for sale, but the item's price is $500. He's shocked to see that someone would buy such a thing, but realizes Snap has already bought one for himself and encourages Hobin to buy one too. Suddenly, Hobin realizes that no matter how much money he makes, he'll never know how to spend it. He was about to leave the store when Bomb texts him and invites him on a date, which makes him so happy that he buys the tracksuit just to look cool. The next morning, he gets ready in the park with his suit and waits for her while an actor with a seductive demeanor appears and starts charming all the girls around. Suddenly, the actor sees Bomb and tries to get her number, but she rejects him and goes to Hobin. Hobin realizes she's not for the streets, while Bomb seems happy that they're both wearing the same suit. He reflects on how there's always a hierarchy where the weak bow to the strong. He always had to bow to Pac because of his strength, and things repeat as Pac had to bow to Kim to avoid getting beaten. He always admired Kim, but knew he could never be like him because Kim is tall and muscular while he has a small and muscleless body. Bomb doesn't seem to mind being with a short king, which makes him dream of a future with her, but she dodges when Hobin returns to reality. They sit down to eat something, and Bomb tries to start a conversation, but Hobin is completely lost because he had never talked to a girl before. Bomb keeps trying but realizes it's no use, so she gets up and prepares to leave, saying that Hobin is good at texting but not in person. Just before she leaves, Hobin apologizes and honestly admits that he's never been on a date and spends most of his time at home watching YouTube. Moreover, he can't look her in the eye without getting nervous because she's so beautiful. This seems to change Bomb's opinion because she finds his honesty endearing, and the date continues. They go back outside, and the day seems to be going well for Hobin until Bomb tells him she needs to meet a guy she was friends with in elementary school. Hobin doesn't think much of it, but Bomb says the guy is in Hobin's class, and they might know each other. This surprises Hobin, who asks who she's talking about. Bomb happily says the guy's name is Kim. This drops the hammer on Hobin because he can't believe she's friends with Kim, which means he has no chance. He dreams of being overshadowed by the MMA superstar, but Bomb brings him back to reality. Hobin lies, saying he's friends with Kim, which makes her happy, but to his horror, Kim approaches them with the same outfit and a disarming smile, ready to chat. Bomb happily greets him and tells him she just learned that Hobin and he are good friends. Kim looks at Hobin with disgust, while Hobin wonders what's going to happen now. Hobin can't believe he let it slip that he was a good friend of Kim with such confidence. Right now, he thinks about how losers like him have an unwritten rule to never pretend to be good friends with anyone. Hobin just broke that rule to show off in front of Bomb, and now he's regretting it. He's ready to face the punishment for breaking such an important rule, and believes this is the point where he parts ways with Bomb. However, Kim doesn't really mind calling him a friend, since they're in the same class. Hobin wonders what the hell is going on because he never talked to Kim at school, and he doesn't even know his name. Kim knows Hobin has a YouTube channel, and notices they're wearing the same clothes. Hobin questions why Kim is being so nice to him, but hearing that they're friends makes him very happy. Then the trio goes for a walk, and Hobin believes that if they ask who the girl's boyfriend is, everyone will say it's Kim. He feels like the third wheel, and even though he's lagging behind, no one seems to notice. Hobin tells Kim and Bomb that he needs to go home because his ingrown toenail is hurting. He leaves limping on purpose because if he stays any longer with two attractive people, he'll die of self-loathing. Bomb seems dissatisfied with his quick exit and seems to have realized that Hobin lied. However, neither of them knew that Snap was nearby filming everything with his camera. Hobin is startled to notice, but Snap muffles him to avoid screams and complications. He explains that he was only following him out of concern. Snap mocks the ridiculous excuse Hobin gave earlier and asks why he backed off when everything was going well. Hobin tries to break free and tells Snap to intervene between Bomb and Kim if he thinks he can, then headbutts him, but Snap remains unfazed. Hobin shouts that he knows better than anyone that Bomb is out of his league. Snap pretends to be wise and says that love is like a fighting tournament where many compete for a girl's attention. He asks Hobin if he's going to give up just because a stronger opponent appeared. Hobin calmly responds that he won't lose if he doesn't play. Snap grabs Hobin by the collar, recounting a story about a famous basketball coach who motivated his players when they were about to give up. The coach told them that if they quit, they had already lost the game. Snap asks Hobin if he really wants to give up now. He reminds Hobin that it was Bomb who invited him out and bought him coffee. Snap questions why someone would spend money on a loser like him if they weren't interested in the first place. He reminds Hobin how Bomb seemed sad when he was leaving and asks if he still wants to give up. Hobin cries upon hearing this and hugs Snap, thanking him for opening his eyes. Snap calmly says that's what friends are for and tells Hobin to confess to Bomb. As Hobin confidently walks towards Bomb, Snap reveals his true intention and grabs the camera. He plans to record Hobin confessing his feelings and getting rejected, as it will generate many views. However, he sees someone in the way and freezes. Meanwhile, Hobin reaches Bomb, who asks if his toenail is okay. He replies that he got over it, but Kim asks if he wants a professional to remove the ingrown toenail. Hobin panics at the thought, but Kim suddenly stands up and leaves. Hobin is even more confused now, but Bomb explains that Kim has a match next week and needs to return to training. Hobin feels relieved that Bomb isn't on a date with Kim and wishes him good luck in his next fight. Kim turns and tells Hobin that he's a good fighter and mentions that he checked out his YouTube channel. He knows that Hobin moved to intercept punches at the start of his last video to avoid getting hurt and asks if he didn't use the next move on purpose. Hobin is confused now because he doesn't even understand what the next move was. Kim decides to leave, mentioning that he'll be waiting for the next video. Suddenly, Hobin realizes he's not the only fan of the Chicken Man channel. He then tries to talk to Bomb, but is so embarrassed that he can't speak clearly. He fidgets nervously and rubs his pants, generating enough friction to create smoke. Finally, he gathers the courage to ask Bomb what her ideal type is. She blushes at the question and nervously says she prefers someone honest. Hobin gets excited and decides to confess his feelings to her sincerely. But as he tries to say she's his ideal type, he notices Snap hiding in the bushes and pulls him out. Hobin starts scolding him for tricking him just to record a video, but is surprised to see Snap's face already bruised and swollen. Then the imposing figure of Pack emerges behind him, seeking revenge. Bomb tries to confront them, but Hobin just asks her to leave. Pack claims she has nowhere to go and suddenly grabs her by the collar, calling her names for not giving him her number earlier. Hobin is furious but remembers the lessons from Chicken Man about controlling his emotions during a fight. He taunts Pack, asking if he wants to be a loser again. This works on the aggressor, who charges at Hobin. He puts his forehead up to intercept the punch safely, but what hits him is a strong uppercut from Pack, who has already seen his video and learned his fighting style. Hobin loses his balance and curses himself for repeating the same technique like a fool. He regrets not watching other videos and wonders what the next move Kim mentioned was. Pack looks at him furiously, but Hobin's mind is already fading and he passes out. At that moment, he recalls how he lived peacefully, even as a bullied kid, but his stance changed when he started making money on YouTube. He was overconfident for having learned a fighting technique and showed his face to the world to earn more. However, after profiting, he became complacent and stopped focusing on studying or learning to fight, and this allowed Pack to make him a loser again. It starts to rain, and Hobin is on the ground, surrounded by Pack and his friends. He's been beaten badly and can only beg Pack to let him go home. His friends hold Bomb tightly, and Hobin asks Pack to let her go. He thought getting beaten wasn't a big deal because wounds heal quickly, but now he feels the emotional scar of being humiliated in front of Bomb will never heal. Pack hits him, but Hobin is determined to ensure Bomb gets home safely at any cost. He kneels and apologizes to Pack, who says his apologies aren't sincere. Pack orders Hobin to take off his pants and apologize again, all in front of his viewers. Snap is forced by Pack's friends to livestream on their channel, while Hobin is humiliated and can only apologize to his friend, crying. Pack tells him to take off his pants and apologize, and then he'll let him go. Suddenly, Bomb slaps the bully, and he gets furious with her. He tells Snap to turn the camera since even he can't punch a girl during a live stream. Before he can do that, Hobin stands up and lowers his pants because it's the only way to save the girl he loves. He takes off everything except his underwear and tells Pack to let Bomb go. Pack laughs at the furious boy, who really stripped to apologize and says his career as a YouTuber is over. He demands that Hobin send all his subscribers to his channel and close his account, but Hobin is about to make one last act of retaliation. Bomb suddenly closes her eyes, and even Pack nervously asks Hobin to stop because he's taking off even his underwear now. He knows this might mean Bomb will never look at him again, but by doing this, he can permanently ban Pack's account. Hobin is on his knees, head down, too embarrassed to face anyone from YouTube, his last act of resistance. Just as he's about to lower his underwear, Kim appears out of nowhere and pulls them back up, lifting Hobin. He tells him to keep them on, and that he ran here after seeing Pack's live stream. Kim then calmly walks over to the bullies and punches one of them in the face, hitting the bully with a combination of thunderous punches and then kicking him away. The next bully is also hit by a barrage of punches, and finally, it's Pack's turn. He tries to apologize and say it was just a misunderstanding, but Kim knocks him down with just one blow. He asks Bomb if she's okay, and she replies that she's fine, and that they should be worried about Hobin. Hobin is on his knees, head down, too embarrassed to face anyone. Kim takes Bomb away, and when she tries to talk to Hobin, he tells her he needs to be alone now. She keeps looking at him as she walks away, but the pain and embarrassment remain with Hobin. He wonders when he became a loser. He remembers the time when he was a normal student until he met Pack and got beaten by him for no reason. That was the beginning of his hellish school life. He was too scared to look anyone in the eye, spoke so softly that no one could hear him, and his posture worsened as he started bowing to everyone. The rain finally stops, and Hobin is still on his knees. Snap apologizes to him, but he can only cry for his own weakness. Shortly after that, Pack is back on his YouTube channel, telling people he has a new model to entertain them. This model is none other than Snap, who is wearing the same ugly clown makeup that Hobin used to wear. He wonders where Hobin is now because it's been days since he went to school, while Snap plays dumb and cooperates with Pack. All he wants to do is properly apologize to Hobin when he sees him again. Bomb also tried calling him several times, but Hobin doesn't even answer her calls. He's hiding in his house, wishing to disappear from the face of the world. However, that's not what he's doing. He's watching the Chicken Man channel on YouTube, learning to fight with dedication. He trains until sweat starts to slowly drip and spread all over his body while listening to Chicken Man say that all motivational speakers and self-help books are useless. The true desire to change and become stronger comes from within the person, not from outside. Hearing these words, Hobin starts doing push-ups again, turning his anger into the powerful fuel that drives him forward. He's willing to work as hard as it takes to become a strong fighter. He's ready to spend an entire month on Chicken Man's fighting tutorial and become an invincible warrior. At school, Snap is bullied by Pack during the live stream, and viewers would pay to see the boy strip. Pack calls out to Hobin, asking if he'll let his friend face all this bullying alone. Even so, with tears in his eyes, Snap asks Hobin not to go to school and stay home. However, Hobin is watching the live stream right behind him. Pack laughs and says he was waiting for him, but Hobin simply throws the phone to Snap and goes to face the bully. Snap doesn't understand anything, even when he sees the live stream is on, and Hobin tells him to stop acting like an idiot and hold the camera properly. He looks Pack in the eyes and declares that the comeback video for his channel is called How to Fight and Beat an Ordinary Person. One day before this happened, Snap was congratulating Hobin for reaching 11,000 subscribers on his channel. Immediately after that, he started talking about how it's been a month since that bastard Hobin disappeared. Suddenly, he says it was too much for a loser like him to become famous suddenly and then be humiliated in front of the world. R asks Snap if he wasn't friends with Hobin, and he replies that he could never be friends with a loser like him. Suddenly, Pack arrives and puts a hand on his shoulder. Pack asks him to repeat what he said about Hobin. Snap responds that he was just a business partner and that he didn't care about him. Upon hearing this, Pack suddenly hits Snap for being a traitor no matter the side. He scolds him for sucking up to everyone like a loser and calls him more pathetic than Hobin. The rest of the class also looks at him with disdain. Snap knew they were right to call him a useless loser. He cries, thinking he's not good at anything and that sucking up to the powerful is the only way to survive without friends. Meanwhile, Pack starts his live stream and fully adopts his gangster image, which makes his channel even stronger than it was before his downfall. On the other hand, the viral success of Hobin and Snap's channel is in constant decline because they haven't posted anything for a month. Pack approaches Snap and tells him to bring Hobin to school the next day. If he does, he can be the cameraman again. Snap curses him but accepts the chance. He wants to survive even if he has to sell out his friend. At night, Snap runs to the hospital where Hobin's mother is admitted and enters her room to ask where Hobin is. Hobin's mother is surprised that he hasn't been going to school, so she gives Snap his address, and his face lights up when he receives it. But when she mentions that Hobin talks a lot about him and is happy to have him as a friend, Snap is shocked and drops the address. The next day, he goes to school empty-handed and gets beaten by Pack for failing the mission. Pack shows his bruised face on the channel and asks why he didn't bring Hobin to school. Snap responds that he tried calling him for an entire hour but got no response. Pack continues to slap him repeatedly for disappointing his viewers and then asks him to send an urgent message to Hobin to come to school. He warns Hobin not to go to school because Pack is planning to assault him to gain more followers. Pack immediately punches him for doing that and continues to beat him until he can't even stand up. Pack tells Hobin to come to school if he wants to save his friend, but Snap cries while telling Hobin not to go to school at any cost. However, Hobin is right behind him, watching the situation unfold on the screen. Snap is speechless at what's happening, but Hobin throws the phone to him, telling him to get back to his job as a cameraman. He looks at Pack and declares that this is the comeback video of the viral success titled How to Fight and Beat an ordinary person. Snap curses Hobin for being a fool for coming here even after the warning, but Hobin just raises his palm towards the camera, where he wrote detailed instructions for Snap to focus on him when he says his catchphrase. Pack ridicules him for being silly and hits him, but Hobin intervenes using his head to absorb the impact. Pack laughs, but Hobin starts moving like a boxer. Pack responds with an uppercut to knock him down, and while Hobin anticipates the blow, he remembers last month's training. He heard Chicken Man call anyone who used just one move an idiot, thinking he was talking to him. He got overconfident for learning one move and was humiliated in front of Bomb. Hobin thought he couldn't face Bomb or his fans and cried for his weakness, but he didn't want to give up and went back to studying by watching Chicken Man's videos. Chicken Man said that to master the technique, one needs a month of intense training. Before that, he revealed 3 essential elements for fighting. The first point is the person's physical constitution, and it's necessary to adopt a high-quality protein diet to gain mass. So Hobin took protein-rich foods, mixed them, and drank them raw. He vomited everything in seconds and said he'd never eat that again. When Chicken Man suggested using market protein shakes to gain muscle mass, he was ashamed of his stupidity. Thus, he reached the second essential point of fighting: willpower. To train it, Hobin drank the horrible mixture he created and started training with anything he could find because he couldn't afford protein shakes and a gym. The third essential element is endurance, and Chicken Man told Hobin to go swimming because swimming with clenched fists is the best way to increase it. Well, Hobin was too shy to go to public pools, so he went to public baths to train. However, after all this, Chicken Man told him, to his shock, that there wouldn't be a significant increase in his endurance or physique in just a month. But this was just the beginning. To highlight the importance of techniques in martial arts, he mentioned an interview with a dollar store Mike Tyson, who thought the best way for a bullied student to protect themselves was to use sneakers. The effective move wasn't boxing, but a low kick. Hobin trained the low kick that Chicken Man taught using garbage bags as targets. In the present, he perfected it. He hits Pack with the kick, leaving him with weak knees. Hobin is happy that his effort paid off, but Pack laughs at the kick attempt. Pack and most people think a low kick should aim at the enemy's thighs. The name Kim appears in the chat room, and he comments that Hobin's kick hit the right spot. Well, this isn't the same Kim from their class because he's watching the fight live from class. However, he also agrees that Hobin's low kick wasn't just great, but also an improved version of the common low kick called a calf kick. Hobin hits Pack again with the low kick, and he winces due to the intense pain in his calf muscles. As a result, Pack attacks furiously, but Hobin escapes. Chicken Man taught that running away is a crucial skill in street fights. Hobin keeps a safe distance from Pack while running around the class, and when he sees an opportunity, he lands another calf kick. However, Pack blocks the next kick and comments that a loser like Hobin only masters one move even after a month of training. Pack advances, but Hobin has another hidden move. He attacks Pack, swinging his fists like he did while swimming, and lands a hook on his face, knocking him into the lockers. Everyone is shocked and speechless at this turnaround. Then Pack's friends try to intimidate Hobin, but Snap steps in to defend him, challenging them to touch his friend. They lower their heads, not because of Snap, but because of Kim, who is menacingly behind Hobin. He tells Hobin he did a great job, pats him on the back, and asks him to stop crying. Even with tears and snot, Hobin reminds the viewers to subscribe to the channel. After that day, Pack stopped going to school because his reputation plummeted. His subscribers went to Hobin's channel, which received the silver play button for surpassing 100,000 subscribers. Hobin thanks the viewers with a handstand from a crawling position, then buys new clothes for his mother, who talks about a friend who visited her. Hobin told his mother about Kim, but she confused Snap with him. Snap also visited her, and upon learning that Hobin didn't talk about him but someone else, he gets furious, feeling betrayed and disrespected by the omission as if he were invisible to Hobin. He throws a tantrum and tries to punch Hobin when he leaves the room, but Hobin just blocks it while smiling because he considers Snap his good friend now. At night, Snap stays at Hobin's house and says they should hire an editor to grow the channel even more. Hobin tells Snap he's been doing well so far, but Snap responds that he's just an amateur and that they need a real professional. He explains that no matter how exciting the content is, it can become repetitive and boring over time, so they need an editor to keep the interest. Hobin understands and asks about posting a job opening. Snap calls him a boomer for thinking old-fashioned and grabs the phone to show the new way to do it. The fact is, he was recording the conversation the whole time, and Hobin gets furious when he realizes it. He greets the audience, and then Snap announces they're looking for an editor for the channel. He asks for volunteers among the viewers, and Hobin quickly rejects it, saying he won't wait long to start. This irritates the viewers, but the comments about their qualifications make Hobin realize there are even bigger losers out there. Hobin asks if anyone has experience in video editing, but everyone denies it. Suddenly, the fake Kim, known for always providing expert analysis of their fights, comments that he has some editing experience. The other viewers doubt him, and so does Snap. However, Hobin suggests they could at least meet him once to confirm his skill. Snap has no choice but to agree, and then asks the fake Kim to send them his contact details. The next day in class, Hobin receives a call from the fake Kim, but the wallpaper is something middle-aged Facebook moms would use. Snap wants to block him, but despite the fake Kim's ramblings, who talks like a baby boomer, Hobin still wants to meet him. Suddenly, they hear a girl using the same vocabulary as the fake Kim. Hobin and Snap are confused, and she tells them to start the interview now. The girls in the class recognize the young woman as Guo Lei, a first-year student famous not only for her beautiful appearance, but also for her somewhat archaic vocabulary. Snap laughs at the situation, saying she played the old man so well that he was completely fooled. He points a finger at her, and the girl promptly grabs it, stating that it's not polite to point at others. Snap is charmed by her cuteness. He imagines a future where he's a hard-working man, and she's his wife, eagerly waiting for his return home. Besides, they have an imaginary dog named Hobin. Hobin distracts Snap's mind, making them lose themselves in thoughts while trying to focus. Meanwhile, Hobin watches a video edited by her showing a viral introduction. Snap can only think about how cute she is and accepts her as an editor despite feeling a certain insecurity. But Hobin warns not to decide alone since the consequences can be unexpected, and notes that Guo highlighted funny comments, finding them the best part of the video. Hobin is impressed, but thinks there's still an X factor missing, still doubting. Then Guo shows the edited part where he was about to take off his underwear. Hobin is so embarrassed by the detailed description of his private parts that he hires her on the spot. However, he has one last question for her. He asks Guo why she decided to join them since she's skilled enough to be hired anywhere else. She remembers the day she saw Hobin fight Pak. Despite the great difference in size and strength between the two, she was impressed by his determination and has been watching his videos ever since. With that, they shake hands and hire her. With a new editor, they even posted a video edited by her on their channel. Bomb watches the video and isn't happy to realize that Hobin has time to focus on the YouTube channel, but continues to ignore her calls and text messages. As she walks, Bomb notices a large crowd and decides to find out what brought them together. To her surprise, she finds a group of people unconscious and beaten on the ground while a teenager plays video games calmly in the arcade. The leader of the defeated men approaches the boy angrily, asking if he beat his men. This disturbs the boy, causing him to lose the game. He then asks for $1 to continue playing. The man refuses, and the boy kicks his face, crushing him with powerful kicks. The man tries to grab him and throw him to the ground, but the boy smiles and hits him with a kick to the back, leaving him unconscious. Meanwhile, Snap and Hobin are researching for their new video. They find information about Chun, a former MMA fighter fired for causing trouble. Despite this, Chun is just a high school student, and rumors say he defeated all the students at his school. Snap comments that Chun practices Taekwondo and laughs at the idiots defeated by him. Hobin asks if Taekwondo is really weak, and Snap says the opponent just needs to watch his kicks and punches, his legs when he tries to attack. He claims that even he could defeat a Taekwondo fighter with that knowledge. However, suddenly Guo tells him to stop deluding himself. She explains that sport Taekwondo is not effective in street fights, but combat Taekwondo is entirely different. She mentions that a study was once conducted to determine which martial arts style has the most powerful kicks, and in that study, Taekwondo surpassed other martial arts by a significant margin. Hobin realizes that Taekwondo is incredible, but still doesn't understand its relation to him. Snap explains that since the focus is on facing bullies, he'll fight Chun next. Hobin scolds him, grabbing him by the collar, asking if he's gone mad. Snap just laughs while Guo explains that Taekwondo is used by many MMA fighters and has a special move called the spinning kick, practically without weaknesses, which can allow a fighter to win even with their back to the opponent. Hearing this, Hobin becomes more terrified and asks why he should fight such a monster, but he doesn't know that by watching Chicken Man, he'll learn to defeat Chun. The guy Bomb saw at the arcade is Chun, a bully who smokes at school and wants to get rich easily. He asks a boy to trade his expensive shoes, and when he refuses, he knocks his friend down with a kick. This is Chun's style, keeping the target's friends as hostages until he gets what he wants. However, he doesn't even like what he demands. He just wants to leave others powerless while he beats up friends. The full video is available to Hobin and the team thanks to a viewer who sent the information earlier. Hobin is terrified to see this and realizes that Chun is much worse than Pak. He admits his fear and says he won't fight, but Snap insists he can't break his promise to the viewers. However, Hobin concludes that he has no reason to fight Chun and won't get involved in a fight just because of a tip from a stranger. Meanwhile, Chun goes to the arcade after school when the guy he beat up yesterday shows up there with his older brother. The big guy asks how he dared to hit his friend. Chun then hits another friend in front of him. The big guy tries to intimidate him, saying he's just a sportsman, not a martial artist, provoking him by saying Taekwondo is child's play and that he can defeat any master. He jumps at Chun, who quickly steps aside, positions himself behind, and kicks him in the back. Chun attacks again. The man defends against the kick, but he changes the attack at the last moment and strikes from another direction. The big guy keeps taking hits and, in the end, is forced to accept defeat and apologize. Chun asks the injured friend if he has $1 to go to the arcade, and nervously, he searches his pocket to give what he wants. Chun gets greedy and kicks the big guy again, demanding $100. The injured man is willing to give it, so Chun hits his friend again and demands $10,000. The man doesn't have that money and just cries while Chun keeps hitting his friend. Snap records everything secretly and realizes that Chun is a bigger psychopath than he thought. He fears facing him and almost gets caught, believing he escaped his gaze but only thinks so. Chun catches him and forces him to call Hobin too. Hobin is terrified, and when Chun asks why they were filming, Snap says he thought the Taekwondo moves were cool. Hobin thanks Snap for his quick thinking and hopes he'll get them out of this, but his hopes are dashed when Guo runs towards them. Hobin knows she's straightforward and fair, always ready to fight. He fears this will worsen the situation more than when Bomb hit Pak. However, upon seeing Chun, Guo forgets the fight and starts kicking a stone on the road, distracted by something that caught her attention. At that moment, she picks it up and threatens Chun, saying that if he hits her, she'll call her father. He mentions that they recorded his video without permission, so Hobin and his friends apologize, promising to delete it. They start to walk away, but Chun realizes they're from the viral channel that faces bullies. He even heard that Hobin planned to beat him up. Everyone is terrified from time to time. Chun demands they hand over their YouTube channel and all the money they made from it. Hobin is too scared to respond. Snap faces the punishment for this. Chun kicks him in the stomach, and Hobin realizes it's true that he takes his target's friends as hostages to fill them with fear and hopelessness. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this thrilling journey and want to see more exciting anime recaps, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell AWE for notifications on our latest content. Share your thoughts in the comments below about what you thought of this story and what other tales you'd like us to explore. Your support is essential for us to continue bringing amazing content to you. Until next time.